Hello, Michael Williams here, Selling North Georgia team, part of Keller Williams Greater Dalton Realty, and you are not mistaken. This is my best attempt at my Donald Trump outfit. Hope you enjoy. Got my red hat over here, but we'll save that for later. So let's get into it. We've got a little bit of an update after the assassination attempt this weekend. So our newsletter is going to have a little bit of a Trumpian feel to it. Not ashamed of that at all. But let's talk about how the election actually impacts housing. So I've gotten that question a ton over the last few weeks and months. You know, what's the second half of this year going to look like? What are people going to do? Are they going to be scared of the election? I do think elections matter. I do think that the timing matters when it comes to the election coming this November. We're obviously divided as a country more so than we've ever been. Maybe this weekend unites us, maybe it doesn't. But I do know that election, while it matters significantly, it doesn't change your decision on whether or not you want to buy a house or whether or not you're going to rent a house. It may fluctuate you a little and change the dial just a little, but at the end of the day, you need a house to live in. So does it change your reason to buy a house? It really doesn't. If Biden is the president, or if Trump is the president, or if RFK is the president, either way, you still need a roof over your head. You've still got to decide, how comfortable am I making that payment? If that's a rental payment, how comfortable am I paying this rent payment that we're going to have? If it's your first house, can we afford to go from renting to buying? Maybe. Can we move up if you're the move-up buyer? Can we sell our $250,000 house and move up to a $400,000 house? And I know those numbers sound high, but those are the decisions that people are making today. So election is going to be a little bit of a slower time. Of course, there are going to be some people who just won't buy until they know what happens. But no matter what happens in November or December or January or whenever we find out who our next president is, you still have to have somewhere to live and you still have to make that payment. So what is really more important is the interest rate. Another thing that's really important is the price of homes, number of homes available. Let's talk about those kinds of things. So the interest rate is around 6.75 to 7% right now. It's been fluctuating in that area for a while. So you kind of have gotten comfortable with, okay, this is where interest rates are going to be now. There's nothing on the horizon that shows us that interest rates are going to fall drastically that changes what your payment's going to be in a drastic way. So that is stable enough without some kind of black swan event that you've got to make the decision. Do we want to sell our home? If you're a move-up buyer, do you want to sell that $250,000 home that you have a 3% rate on? Do you want to move up to a $400,000 with a 7% interest rate or a 6.75? That's a hard move, frankly, and so that's why we see the number of transactions have gone down dramatically over the last couple of years. So the move-up buyer's kind of gone. Well, that also puts pressure on the first-time home buyer, because that person that has 250 that now is going to move to 400, they're not selling their 250. So we need new construction. You've seen a ton of new construction happen over the last couple of years. So those new constructions are getting sold pretty quickly. We see a lot of people buying duplexes right now, and they're living in one side and renting the other. While that's a great strategy, it's still going to cost you something to live in the other side of that duplex. A couple of years ago, you could have bought it, lived in one side for free while the other side paid your mortgage. Now that number is a little different. You're going to have to pay a little bit to live in that side of the duplex, but still paying $700 or $800 a month living in one side of the duplex is better than $1,700, which is what a house of that similar price would cost you. So just know that there are some strategies there to still keep a low enough payment that it makes sense for you. And so if you want to know more about buying a multifamily house, we're certainly happy to talk to you about that. Duplexes, triplexes, quads, they're all available in our market right now, so we can talk about that if you're interested in that kind of thing. But I will say the higher end, the luxury market, has been really slow over the last few months. And when I say luxury, I just mean 2x the median. So our median right now is about 260, 270. So if we're looking 2x the median, if you're selling a house around 500,000 or higher, then it's a little slower. There are not as many people moving up into those as normal because of this interest rate environment we had a couple years ago that has kind of slowed down the move-up buyer. So that's where we are now. We need more housing on the affordable end, so 200, 225, 250. That's where we really need housing right now, and those houses sell very fast. The days on the market for those houses under 250, very fast. Days on market from, let's call it 275 and up to maybe 350, 400. That's a little slower. You get over 500, it's really slow. And then actually, you get over $1 million, the ultra luxury, they really haven't been affected as much with this economy that we're in right now. So the sales there are still what I would call normally be. So that's what's happening in the market. And I would tell you, think less about the election, think more about what you can afford, what your payment is. Is this the right financial strategy? Those are the questions that we would love to help you answer. So give us a call if you've got any questions like that. We'd love to talk. 706-271-6549. You can call our office at 706-459-3107. And of course, you can always reach out to me, Mike at sellingnorthgeorgia.com. And we look forward to talking to you soon. Thank you. My name is Michael Williams, and I approve this message.